to read. It was a sweeping verdict for Johnny Depp. How did she handle it?
You know, one of the first things.
Oh, she ate her lipstick. She had her morning coffee and her muffin. She ate that red lipstick. Where'd the red lipstick go?
She said is, I am so sorry to all those women out there. This is a setback for all women in and outside the courtroom. And she feels the burden of that.
Well,
what burden? What burden? We weren't clinging on to you. We didn't have you as like the symbol of women and domestic violence survivors. Oh, no, it's fine. You go down by yourself. Don't pull us down with you. Don't bring us down with you. That's all you, girl. You lied, and that's all you.
Knowing the case and knowing the law as you certainly do, it favors defendants like Amber Heard. Are you stunned that the jury essentially rejected her story?
Well, you know, really what happened here is it's a tale of two trials. Johnny Depp brought a suit in the UK for the same case, and the burden of proof.
No, it was for a different article. It was for the wife beater article written by The Sun. This one's Amber Heard op-ed and other shit. It's different, but okay.
Was easier for him there. The Sun had to actually prove that it was true, and the court found there, and we weren't allowed to tell the jury this, but the court found that Mr. Depp had committed at least 12 acts of domestic violence, including sexual violence, against Amber. So what did Depp's team learn from this? Demonize Amber and suppress the evidence.
I think Amber demonized herself. I feel like everything, all of her downfalls was just because of her own testimony and how she acted in court, and it was just her. It was just her.
We had an enormous amount of evidence that was suppressed in this case that was in the UK case. In the UK case, when it came in, Amber won, Mr. Depp lost.
But here's the thing,
what evidence was suppressed? Some medical records, some notes with her psychiatrist or something like that. I'm assuming they're all like hearsay notes. Maybe that's why they didn't let it in.
We're able to get some evidence that you say demonstrated abuse. You certainly had her testimony. There were pictures, documents, all kinds of evidence. But in point of fact, the jury rejected it. You argued in your closing arguments that if they found even one instance of abuse, and it did not even have to be physical abuse, that they would have to find for Amber Heard, and they didn't.
And the other part to bear in mind here is nothing changed. The op-ed didn't even mention Mr. Depp by name.
She's going back to her talking points. She pivot, she dodge.
And so what basically they did here is demonize her. And they were able to suppress the medical.
She's doing her talking points. Stop regurgitating the talking points. Just answer the questions. Good God. Just tweet it. Just tweet about it. If you're just going to come up here and just bullshit us, just fucking tweet about it, okay? Don't even show up on TV. Just tweet about it.
Records, which were very, very significant because they showed a pattern going all the way back to 2012 of Amber reporting this to her therapist, for example. We had...
By the way, she said that the first abuse happened was in 2013 when she was slapped by Johnny Depp for the wino comment. And she was like, you never forget something like that. You never forget the first act of violence that happened to you. And then later on, when they conveniently found these medical notes that dated back to 2012, she's like, oh, you know what? Actually, I forgot that there was something that did happen in 2012. But yeah, again, you never forget something that happens to this. You never forget the first event of violence acted upon you. I don't know. She just kept changing her story depending on what kind of evidence came out, you know? And I'm not saying that, like, you have to have perfect memory. I'm not saying that you have to remember every thing and that you have to be completely consistent. But the theme, the reoccurring theme with Amber Heard was shifting narratives, shifting blame, shifting stories, and it was just too much, you know? There's a little bit of room that, you know, people are allowed to have. But when it's just like too much, you know, kind of like Jodi Arias when she shifted her story a lot, depending on what the narrative, what the police detective was asking her or what evidence was provided her. It's just kind of like that. That's how we know that you're lying. That's what liars do.
Significant amount of text, including from Mr. Depp's assistants, saying, when I told him he kicked you, he cried. He is so sorry. That didn't come in.
That did come in. That did come in. Did she forget? Guys, that was in the evidence. That was in the evidence that came in. Wasn't that the one that Roddenborn kept reading to Johnny Depp over and over again? And Depp was like, yeah, you read that right? That was in the evidence.
Is there any other way to interpret this verdict, though, that this jury, for whatever reason, and I hear you on some of the evidence that they didn't hear, listening to Amber Heard, did not believe a single word?
And that's because she was demonized here. A number of things were allowed in this court that should not have been allowed. And it caused the jury to be confused.
It caused the jury to find out the truth. Okay, let's say we take out like the witnesses towards the end, right? So even before the woman that witnessed Amber Heard being physically abusive to her ex. Let's say she didn't testify. Let's say Morgan Knight, the Hicksville guy, the manager who said that he didn't see significant damages in the trailer like Amber Heard said. Let's say he didn't testify. Let's say the TMZ guy didn't testify. I think those are the three like surprise guest witnesses, right? Let's say Kate Moss didn't testify. Even if those 4 people didn't testify, there was still an overwhelmingly amount of evidence that were for Johnny Depp. Even if those 4 people didn't testify, it was already kind of game over at that point. But when those 4 testified, it was just like, okay, shut it and seal it.
They weren't.
It wasn't like, oh, those 4 people testified and it was like a turning moment. Even with Jennifer Howell wasn't even able to say that much either. So I felt like her testimony just went over the fucking juror's head. By the time her testimony came out, it was a video one. No one really cares about videos. It was towards the end of the day. It was like way after lunch and people were probably checked out. So I don't think Jennifer Howell's testimony even did that much anyway.
We weren't allowed to tell them about the UK judgment. So the damages is completely skewed. There are no damages. It stopped at November 2, 2020, which is when the judgment came down in the UK.
Let me ask you about social media in this case. Unlike any celebrity case, certainly I've ever covered or ever seen, social media was a part of this. And it was incredibly lopsided and vitriolic against Amber Heard. Do you think that had an effect on the case?
Absolutely.
You think jurors were aware of it? They weren't supposed to be. They're admonished every single day.
I like how everyone just like defaults blame everything on fucking social media. Yeah, sometimes social media does suck. Sometimes, a lot of times TikTok is fucking cringe. There's a lot of cringy things that goes on to social media, but it doesn't mean everything that trends on social media is fucking cringe. I think people legitimately just didn't like Amber Heard because she lied, and there's just a lot of ridiculous things that she did. No one likes people lying about donations, especially to Children's Hospital. Sitting on the bed is just really fucking crazy and kind of fun thing to make fun of. There's just a lot of things. What is that? Remove 5K to go. Oh, really? For it to hit number 1? It's going to hit it. Damn. TMZ pretty much revealed that Amber was the one that released the videos. I saw that video too. I did. I saw that. I don't know, man. I tried. I tried to understand her side of things. I really did. But she's just a horrible liar. It's hard to believe anything that comes out of someone's mouth when they lie, especially when they have no evidence. How are we supposed to believe you?
Don't look at it. Do you think they did see it?
How can you not? They went home every night. They have families. The families are on social media. We had a 10-day break in the middle because of the judicial conference. There's no way they couldn't have been.
Yeah, blame Judge Penny. Damn it, she had a 10-day break because she went to an anime convention.
Influenced by it. And it was horrible. It really, really was lopsided. And I appreciate your saying that. It's like the Roman Colosseum, how they viewed this whole case.
Same talking points. Get Roddenborn on here. Elaine out, Roddenborn in. Get her out of here.
I was against cameras in the courtroom, and I went on record with that and had argued against it because of the sensitive nature of this. But
this is her 11 minutes of fame. 5 minutes here, 6 minutes on the other one. That's 11 minutes total.
Does your client want to appeal?
Oh, absolutely. And she has some excellent grounds for it. We even had tried to get the UK judgment in to dismiss his case because he already had his shot.
Thanks, cubies.
And that's one of the issues, but also a number of the evidentiary issues. There was so much evidence that did not come in.
Is she able to pay a $10.4 million judgment?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Finally.
Oh, my God, Elaine. Amber Heard's going to get you on that. Elaine out.
In closing arguments, Amber's team argued that this would send a message, that it would send a message that no matter what you do as an abuse victim, you always have to do more. You need to be perfect in order for people to believe you if she did not get a favorable verdict. What message do you think this sends?
It's a horrible message. It's, as I said, a setback.
The fact that they're even comparing the two is just gross and very disgusting. You guys are the ones that are associating the two.
It's a significant setback because that's exactly what it means. Unless you pull out your phone and you video your spouse or your significant other beating you.
Not true.
Effectively, you won't be believed.
Elaine Charlson, Bredehoff, thank you very much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I feel like we need a heart rate monitor. You know how like some streamers, they have the they got the heart rate monitor, to monitor their heart while they're playing a video game. I feel like I need a heart rate monitor when I'm listening to Elaine talk, when I'm listening to the fucking trial. Like we need a